And new video just from this weekend shows migrants trying to scale the fence near Friendship
It's
Park
the
before they
latest
were
decision
arrested.
in a months-long legal battle between the Trump administration, asylum seekers, and immigration
Our exclusive
advocates.
10 News Union Tribune poll shows most Americans think the U.S. has a serious problem with unauthorized immigration.
Well, I got an M4 and 260 rounds with a level 4 bulletproof vest.
How do you justify like all the equipment that you have, especially considering the fact that like a lot of folks are going to be, you know, non-violent in a way?
It's a deterrent. When they see all this, they're not going to run, they're going to stop.
In April, Customs and Border Protection detained over 100,000 people along the U.S. southern border for the second consecutive month. In January, CBP apprehended nearly 60,000 migrants. The government says the recent surge has strained their ability to secure the border. Because of that, a group of people in New Mexico decided to assist while carrying firearms.
We are a group of ex-law enforcement, ex-military, some special forces that served in the military, who basically are strictly volunteers.
The Guardian Patriots have been a controversial presence in New Mexico since they first set up camp in February near what's called the Anapra Gap, an area where the border wall stops. We caught up with the group at their camp in early April.
If you literally step your foot over that little concrete barrier there, you're in Mexico. This is Anapra, Mexico right here. This is Sunland Park, New Mexico. So as you can see, it's very simple for anybody who wants to get through this border to simply walk across this border. They don't need to dig a hole, they don't need to dig a tunnel. They can just come right on in.
The group, formerly known as the United Constitutional Patriots, claims it has helped Border Patrol detain more than 6,000 migrants, a number Border Patrol says they can't confirm. Law enforcement didn't ask them to be here. In fact, CBP doesn't condone their presence, but they haven't exactly stopped them either.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, New Mexico's governor, among other state officials, have sounded the alarm about the group's armed tactics and potential harm. The ACLU has released a statement calling the group vigilantes, who are essentially kidnapping migrants at gunpoint. They might be concerned for a few different reasons. The group's commander was arrested on felony weapons charges. They were booted from their original camp because they were trespassing, and according to a police report, one volunteer was asked to leave after suggesting that the group shoot and gas migrants crossing the border. But none of those incidents specifically dealt with how the group has been stopping migrants for months, sometimes in the dead of night, while carrying rifles. And what's still unclear is whether the group's actions are totally legal.
I see it kind of like, a neighborhood watch. We all have the right as citizens to stand there and report criminal activity to the authorities.
At what point would it become a problem, just out of curiosity?
The moment that they put hands on somebody and arrest them, that's a violation of anybody's civil rights, because they don't have the right to do so.
This group alone cannot touch an illegal alien. We can tell them to stop and sit down until the Border Patrol, and then that's what we do. Other than that, all we're doing is back up for the Border Patrol. If they get overwhelmed, then the big gear comes out as a deterrent to say, hey, if you're going to go after the Border Patrol, you're going to have to go through this. And 90% of the time, they just stop.
Yeah, it sounds pretty clear someone's advising them on what they should and shouldn't do.
Miriam Aranjani is a criminal law professor at the University of New Mexico. Whether their behavior is criminal is yet to be seen, but she says there could be grounds for other offenses even if migrants aren't being touched.
Is what they're doing legal?
So I think that there are a number of potential charges here under state law. As I mentioned, false imprisonment. New Mexico law defines false imprisonment as intentionally confining or restraining another person without his consent and with knowledge that he has no lawful authority to do so. Kidnapping, which is a more serious charge, is another potential charge, and that requires the unlawful taking, restraining, transporting, or confining of a person by force, intimidation, or deception.
But there's no outside oversight to make such a determination. And the videos filmed by the group don't show everything, like how they make first contact with people crossing illegally. There is another possibility for authorities to investigate the group, but it's less likely. And that's if a complaint is made by a migrant, the voice we haven't heard in all of this.
But they're not in a position really generally to advocate for themselves. Generally, they don't speak English. Generally, they don't know whether they do have any rights. And generally, they're coming from countries in which there's a much weaker rule of law.
That could be one reason why at least one civil rights group is trying to amplify migrant voices. The ACLU told Newsy that it's currently looking for migrants who have been stopped by the group to pressure local authorities to investigate them. It's difficult to say whether what the Guardian Patriots are doing is totally legal or illegal. And it should be noted that they've been doing this since February without any incident about how they do it. But no matter where you stand on the issue of civilian border patrols, Aranjani says that the law can be changed.
We don't like what we see in terms of the options for offenses or defenses or punishments. You know, we could change those laws by letting our legislators know and asking them to change the law. We should play a role in designing the system.